When the FBI could not locate the alleged gunman on Wednesday, do you know who stepped up and offered a $1 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Charlie Kirk's assassin? Bill Ackman.
In this video, Nick Fuentes discusses the relationship between Bill Ackman and the shooter, Tyler Robinson, the killer of Charlie Kirk, the assassin of Charlie Kirk. And Nick Fuentes has stated personally that he doesn't believe that there are connections between Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk's assassin, and the state of Israel, but he concedes to the fact that there are a lot of inconsistencies. There are a lot of strings that are yet to be tied, and this is one of them. This is a smoking gun. This needs to be discussed, and Nick Fuentes, in his very eloquent prose, does it here.
Now, what about Bill Ackman? What about Bill Ackman and his fundraiser in August? Who the fuck is Bill Ackman? Bill Ackman is a Wall Street Jewish billionaire. Do you know that he is friends with Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, managing $10 trillion in assets? Do you know that Larry Fink is going to run the World Economic Forum in the stead of Klaus Schwab, who's retiring after a Me Too scandal? Do you know that Bill Ackman got the president of Harvard University fired because there was an anti-Israel protest on the Harvard campus? Do you know that Bill Ackman's wife is Israeli? She was born in Israel. And not only that, but she received money from none other than Jeffrey Epstein. And after October 7th, Bill Ackman shifted to the right. He put $1 million behind Trump and became very active in Republican politics, even though he's a lifelong Democrat. Bill Ackman hosted the the convention on August 4th or 5th of Turning Point Influencers. Here's the smoking gun that really brings it all home. Because, and I'm going to be really honest with you, when people said that Israel was behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, I said, don't be ridiculous. Charlie Kirk, and rest in peace, God bless his soul, Charlie Kirk, we all know, was supported by pro-Israel Jewish patrons. Until the day that he died, he never recanted his support for Israel. Publicly and openly, he defended the administration's cover-up of the Epstein files. He defended the administration's bombing of Iran. In the same interview with Megyn Kelly, he said, "You're never going to lose me. I will always support Israel." Be that as it may, after Netanyahu offered to give him all this money, and he refused, Bill Ackman hosted an event at his home where Israeli mouthpieces like Seth Dillon, a Jew, and Josh Hammer, a Jew Israeli mouthpiece working for Ben Shapiro in a previous job listing. Charlie Kirk refused to listen. He was offered a trip to Israel. He refused. When the FBI could not locate the alleged gunman on Wednesday, do you know who stepped up and offered a $1 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Charlie Kirk's assassin? Bill Ackman. And just who do you think that $1 million will be paid out to? It looks like it will be paid out to the alleged killer's father. Tyler Robinson was allegedly turned into law enforcement by his father. His Mormon father, the Mormon father who turned in his gay son dating a tranny who killed Charlie Kirk, is going to get a $1 million payout from Bill Ackman, the man who, according to friends of Charlie Kirk, menaced him for not taking Netanyahu's money and supporting Israel's war in Iran. Do you think Bill Ackman is just generous? He's a vigilante. Put another way, the Jewish billionaire that allegedly threatened Charlie Kirk, the Jewish billionaire married to an Israeli who took money from Jeffrey Epstein, who is, by all credible observations, working on behalf of Israel in some context. The guy that apparently menaced Charlie Kirk is the same guy who will pay a man $1 million for turning in his gay son, implicating him in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Anybody find that a little bit suspicious? This is a tweet, a real tweet that Bill Ackman put out last week. He said, quote, "A number of people have reached out and or posted expressing concern that Tyler Robinson's father may collect a $1.2 million reward for turning in his son," which inspires a few thoughts. First, in order for rewards to be effective in finding criminals, the rewards need to be paid even if the recipient is a crook or worse. That said, in this case, if the father is found to have been involved or otherwise acted negligently in contributing to Charlie's death, civil litigation or criminal prosecution will reverse unjust compensation. I've also seen reports that suggest Tyler's family intends to waive its right to any reward. So yes, we will pay the reward if it is earned to whomever the FBI indicates provided the information that led to Tyler's arrest. To me, that might be the smoking gun. That might be the connection that slipped everybody's attention. So, Bill Ackman allegedly menaced Charlie Kirk over Israel. Now Bill Ackman is paying $1 million to a Mormon man, turning in his gay son dating a tranny, implicating him in the killing of Charlie Kirk. I see a bit of a conflict of interest there. Now, with that being said, I'm not running with that. I'm not stating that as fact. I'm saying that requires careful scrutiny. It's not, at the minimum, there is the appearance of impropriety. That's not a good look. And that needs to be investigated. And I credit that observation to Arthur Bloom, who's being investigated in Virginia for calling somebody an Israeli spy. Go figure. He put me onto this. I'm not going to pretend I came up with it myself. But at the minimum, that needs to be investigated. And I'd be very interested if the father receives that payout. If he doesn't, then maybe there's nothing there. But I find that to be very conspicuous.
Now, what did you think? I personally agree with Nick Fuentes, and I stated that in a past video. I don't personally think that the shooting, the assassination of Charlie Kirk by Tyler Robinson was facilitated by the Israeli government. I think there is a lot pointing to the fact that this was just a radicalized kid, whether he was radicalized on Discord, whether he was radicalized on Reddit, or just fomenting in the hate and the anger that exists online for a decade. It would not be surprising if it was him acting alone. That's what it seems like. However, to me, this does sound like a smoking gun. Bill Ackman, somebody that had deep ties to people like Jeffrey Epstein, following this trail of money, in my opinion, it kind of points towards Israel. And now a lot of intelligence points towards Israel. And so is this a end-all, be-all reason that Israel was behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk? I think that the state of Israel does have a lot of motivation as to why they would want Charlie Kirk dead. Max Blumenthal released an article talking about exactly that, saying that in public and especially in private, Charlie Kirk was receiving a lot of pressure from Israeli donors. He received as Nick Fuentes talks about here, $150 million. And as Charlie Kirk began to turn away from Israel, as he began to say that, yeah, indeed, the things going on in Gaza are horrific and a Christian can't support it, Israel, who built up the Turning Point USA and funded Turning Point USA over the course of the past decade, turned on him. I'd say that could be a plausible explanation. Is it the correct explanation? No. It's a thought experiment. You shouldn't go on Twitter tweeting out that Israel committed the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There's still a lot more information coming out about the subject. To stay updated on all of the goings-on, feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it was Israel? Am I missing some information? Is Nick missing some information? There have been a lot of people on Twitter saying that Nick Fuentes has become a shill, saying he got a call from the Mossad. Now, I don't think that's the case. However, maybe you do. Let me know. Give me your evidence. Let's have a little debate. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.